Mi gente, good morning guys. We're here at MCN Distributors here in Farmingdale, New York. That's right, over here picking up a condenser. We actually got to do a condenser today, just a replacement. Hopefully the weather holds up because it's supposed to be a storm, but right now it seems to be that the weather gods is on our side. So hopefully we're able to finish this today. It's one less job we have to do tomorrow. See what happens. But right now, let's go pick up the condenser. Wepa. Yo, buddy. Pick up a condenser for NY boiler and air conditioner repair. All right, guys, gonna pick up our condenser for us. So we're just waiting. We have a pickup truck, so we can't fit the condenser inside the pickup truck. So we have this special contraption that we bought from Harbor Freight. It helps out. It helps us out. Hey, you gotta improvise. What did they say? When God gives you lemons, you gotta make lemonade. All right, guys, our baby is here. So now it's time to get to work. Let's make this money. All right, guys, we just got to the property. Got this beautiful home over here. We're installing this ream. This is the model RA1642 AJ1NA. So the 16 means it's a 16 SEER unit, and the 42 means 42,000 BTUs. In this case, it's a 3.5 ton unit. It's work time, so let's get busy. I'm gonna show you what it is to get down and dirty here at New York Board and Air Conditioner Repair. Oh baby, she's a beauty. She's sexy, baby. I don't know if anybody thinks sexy is cooling is sexy, but I think AC is sexy. I think cooling is sexy. I think HVAC is just sexy as a whole. And I think I'm a sexy motherfucker too. Wepa. All right, guys, we're about to ready to get rid of this old unit. So first we have to remove the gas. Safety's first. We got to shut the power first before we start removing the gas. So power's gonna be off. We're gonna disconnect the electrical, and then we're gonna start removing the gas. So we recover all this gas, and then we'll start doing the installation. All right, guys, you're ready to put on the gauges. We're ready to recover the gas. So that's the first things first, because we can't disconnect without making sure the gas is out of the system. This is what we call the liquid port, the liquid line, and the suction line. So this goes over here. That's the high side, we call it. And this will be the low side. Red meaning high, high pressure, and blue meaning low, low pressure. All right, let's get started. All right, right now, guys, we're actually disconnecting the thermostat wire, which is a 24 volt that goes to the contactor, and we're disconnecting the power with the high voltage that gives power to the compressor. All right, guys, we just recovered the gas. As you guys can see, it's flat. It's at zero PSI, so there's no gas in here. So now we're ready to take out the Schrader valve or the core valve. So we call it a Schrader remover. That's what it looks like. We use this tool right here, and basically what this does is removes the core valve, or the Schrader valve we call it. All right, so let me show you that. This is what the core valve looks like, or Schrader valve. We're taking that out. We're gonna braze this connections here on the suction and on the liquid line. And what I mean by brazing, we're gonna put the torch to melt the actual braze connection, so we can actually pull out the whole pipe, because it's the same size. It's 3/8 by 7/8. So there's nothing really much to it. We're doing a replacement. So this is pretty much an exact fit, because it's an exact replacement. It's the same manufacturer. It's called a Rood unit, but Rood is also made from Rheem. Same exact model, same manufacturer. So everything's pretty much plug and play. You guys can see we removed both core valves. So right now we're getting ready to braze, meaning to heat up this joint here on the suction side, on the liquid line, to physically disconnect the actual condenser. So the condenser is still connected by these two pipes. Once this is disconnected, then we're good to go. We can actually remove the condenser. Once this is actually physically disconnected, Tony and I can actually physically take out this condenser and hold it outside. We're gonna have to pick it up, because there's no way. Even if we had a hand truck here, it's very tight. With all this rain that we're having lately, it's very saturated with water. So with the weight of the condenser, it's just gonna sink into the actual mulch in the ground. So we have to pump this shit out. All right, so we're cutting out the 3/8 liquid line. As you guys noticed, the pipe cutter, we lost the handle. I don't know if it fell somewhere in the truck. So we're in the job, so we gotta improvise. So we gotta use an adjustable to tighten up the handle. It is what it is. You gotta improvise, because when you're in the job and shit happens, if you don't improvise, you're gonna have a lot of problems. So right now I'm opening the B tank, and what this tank consists of is acetylene. hell? I should know better. I'm the boss, and safety is first. But I thought I was fucking no big deal. You know, I can pick it up with my hands. I should take it into my hand. Like, nah, gotta get gloves. Safety first. Don't be a hero. Wear your gloves. Fucking job gotta get done, Alright guys, we're installing a filter dryer, a 3/8 filter dryer. You notice there's an arrow. This arrow is always facing towards the air handler, so you cannot fuck it up. It's a no-brainer. If you fuck this up, you have no business being in the HVAC business. Alright guys, so we did a leak check. We actually finished brazing. We put some nitrogen into the system. We confirmed there's no gas leaks. So the next time after that is putting the system into what's called a vacuum. It's a vacuum pump. Basically what it's doing is pulling out all the air, all the humidity, all the moisture from the system, because that's like cancer in the HVAC world. So it's pulling all that moisture, all that shit inside the system and throwing it outside in the ambient air. Ideally, we like to bring the system down to 500 microns or as close as possible. What microns is the actual scale that we read in the industry that is basically a negative scale. So when you have pressure, you have positive. When you're in a vacuum, when you're sucking, right, you're in a negative. So that is what we use, and the scale we use is microns. So ideally, or industry standards is 500. And listen, sometimes you cannot get it to 500, but if you get it to 500, great. But if it's close, that should be fine. And that's it. All right guys, so we're ready to get it started. We're about to do a vacuum to the system. So first things first is putting the gauges back on. So we're putting the gauges back on the low and the high side. So the high side is the red hose. The low side is the blue gauge. Well, the blue hose. Sorry, the rain is getting to me. So right now we need 110 volts. So this is 220. So we're putting on an adapter to get one leg to the ground. That's going to be the neutral, and the black is going to be the hot. We got power! I hope this video has been very informative to you guys. And if you have any other questions, or you have any emails you want to send over to me, just ask me any type of questions about the industry or what we're doing today, feel free to subscribe, hit the bell. Hey, DM me, email, whatever it takes. We're back.